Welcome to Coafrwological podcast, the sacred space where we wave the thread between ancestral memories and Africa's calm, African global destiny. I'm Alphonse Mpeke, Pekentunga Mitila Meyodi, the founder of Coafrwologie, the new Pan-African science for restoration, justice, order, dignity, and global African renaissance. And I invite you to listen beyond the noise of the world. They say Africa stands at the turning point in history, but what happens when Africa herself no longer turns? When she regains her axis? This is the heart of our message today and the truth that guides the Global African Renaissance Plan, Prague 2035. When Africa remembers herself, the world regains its axis. In this episode, we explore the foundations of this vision. What is Coafrwologie? Why do we speak of ontological restorations? And how do we invisible forces? How do the invisible forces, the egregores and golems, prevent us from returning to the balance of the MAAT? Prepared to journey between spirit and structure, the awakening begins now. The Prague 2035 did not emerge from a vacuum. It is part of a sacred lineage of thinkers, the guardians of the Pan-African flame. Listen carefully. At the heart of the plan lies Coafrwologie. It is the name we give to this Pan-African philosophical discipline, a holistic science of balance, justice, and spiritual restoration. It does not merely aim to fix policies or economy. It seeks to restore order, justice, and being. It is the bridge between ancestral wisdom and contemporary challenge. We honor the path led before us, Chikanta Diop, call for cultural unity, grounding the scientific basis of our Renaissance. Ngugi wa Thiong'o demanded the decolonizations of the mind, an act of liberation essential to our dignity. Prague 2035 is the synthesis of these calls, a spiritual map toward sovereignty, historically movement for African Renaissance focused mostly on politics or economics. Our plan goes deeper. It seeks ontological restoration. In other words, the return of being, memory, and balance to their divine alignment. We speak here of the return to MAAT, that Egyptian principle of cosmic justice and harmony. The African Renaissance is, before all else, a metaphysical act. With our inner reharmonization, every reform remains a mask. But why do we need restoration? What was broken? Here enters the diagnosis of our collective soul, the ACAD or CIADA. Let's move to sequence 3, the development, the fracture, the ACAD or CIADA, egregores and golems. The existential condition of Africans and African descendants in the world, ACAD or SIADA, is the diagnosis of our fragmentation. Colonial legacy did not only steal our lands, it shattered our sacred cosmology. We lost the normal, the just, and creative world, and found ourselves in the silence of dependency. This fracture manifests through two powerful forces, still shaping our collective destiny. First, the egregores, what we call psychic residue. These are internalized collective thought, forms, ideologies of inferiority, self-hate, and division. These egregores born of slavery and coloniality act as viruses in our collective psychics. Then come the golems, the systemic structures, schools, economies, media instructions, and institutions. These are self-replicating, mechanic, and machine that perpetuate domination and dependency, even after formal independence. The Prague 2035 is our response. Our mission is not to fight these forces through mere politics, but to transmute them through spiritual realignment, to restore balance between being, memories, and action. That is the true of acts of sovereignty. As Molefi Kete Asante reminds us, Afrocentricity begins when the African becomes the subject of his own history. Our goal is to return to order, the MAAT, the vital force, normal, and the unity, UBUNTU, the sacred triad of African rebirth. In our next episode, we will unfold the three sacred phases of Prague 2025, from awakening to music, the foundation of the egregore of unity. But for now, let us close this with a vow. Sequence 4, conclusion and call to action. The Global African Renaissance Plan is not a closed document. It is an open score, awaiting its musician. Africa is not nostalgia. It is a living promise. Remember, your role is essential. Every thinker, every artist, every spiritual leader is called to become a weaver of meaning and a guardian of universal balance. The African future is not written on imported paper, but inscribed in the unified heart of the people. The question is not longer whether Africa will rise, but how each soul will contribute its rhythm to the drumbeat of the global renaissance. Visit the Global COAFRWO official platform on Facebook, here on TikTok, on YouTube, but also visit the website of the Institute of Global African Studies, the ICAWS, the Institute for Contemporary African Studies, and also, but you can also find this plan within academia.edu or LinkedIn and many other platforms where we downloaded this plan for a large reading. Thank you for being part of this global movement. Thank you for taking into consideration the Global African Renaissance, this project that we want to bring into perspective. We want to revive for all African, all activists, all Pan-African, and mainly all politicians and all diplomatic member of our communities. This is it for today, for this first postcards of the day. I'm Brother Mbeke, or Professor Mbeke, the founder of Coafrwologie. Thank you. Thank you for your attention, and looking forward to see you joining us into this global movement. Bye now. Ubuntu, Ubuntu Kama.